Jones first, but then let me give you the background of how a political vote that didn't happen yesterday affected these moves today. All right, but Hank Goldberg, are we ready up there? Is in the Pacific Northwest. Top of the morning to you, Hank. And I guess the fish are swimming upstream, aren't they?
Yes, they are, Chris. Dennis Erickson told me last night that this was his objective, to move into the 6th spot, to take Walter Jones. It fell just the way he wanted with the selection of Springs. You mentioned the legislative situation here, and very quickly it's this. They need 50 votes to get approval for a stadium vote on a referendum. And they haven't gotten those votes, and the election hasn't taken place, but they decided to go about their business as if that situation doesn't exist. The problem is they're looking at $13 million in bonuses and salaries right now, Chris. So that's the situation here. They're feeling pretty good.
Well, they should feel pretty good. We're going to go back to you in a minute, but let's make it official with the commissioner, Hank.
With the 6th pick in the first round, the Seattle Seahawks select Walter Jones, offensive tackle from Florida State.
My goodness.
The New York Giants are now on the clock.
The Seahawks, as Hank said, did exactly what they wanted to do. Let me take 15 seconds and clean this up. If the House does not vote yes to put on the ballot in June to the people of the state of Washington or King County the opportunity to fund a new football stadium, and if that goes on the ballot and it's not funded, Paul Allen on July 1st will either exercise or not exercise his option to buy the team. He has a few shekels. He's already spent some for the Chad Browns, etc. He said if they don't approve the stadium, he's not buying the team. The future of the Seahawks up there is in question pending these moves in the legislature. However, as Hank said, business as usual until they get a no. And you got to like Paul Allen, full steam ahead until somebody stops me. Hey, the Seahawks have to be thrilled with what they've gotten.
Well, the Seahawks gambled when they traded up. They got Springs. Now they get Walter Jones. 2 players in that Elite 6. This is an amazing draft for Dennis Erickson to get 2 of these top 6 players. You see him here at right tackle with the feet and the balance. This is a dominator who's going to get better once his technique improves. Remember, he only played 1 year. Watch him against James Bates. Helmet to helmet, Joe. Watch him. There you go. Now that's domination. You watch him time and time again sustain a block. He never quits. He's a high-intensity player. Doesn't take any downs off or plays off. He was responsible for a lot of work done success this past season. Really engulfs a defender. Big man, 295 to 300 pounds. Ran that 4.72 during an individual workout, which was unbelievable.
Well, and he goes right along with Pete Kendall last year. I mean, what Dennis Erickson's starting to do right now is he's starting to put together this very young football team. And he's got veterans backing up. You got John Freese as your quarterback. You got...
With the 14th pick in the 2010 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Earl Thomas, defensive back, Texas.
He's only 5'10", 208 at the combine, 202 at his pro day. I think that's a better weight for him. 3-year player. He redshirted as a freshman. He had 8 interceptions. He's the most instinctive safety I've seen on tape. He's a playmaker on defense. I fully expect he'll step in day 1 and begin to make plays. Why? His quickness, his change of direction skills. People say, how consistent a tackler is he? I'll give up, and by the way, he's a tough kid, but I'll give up a little bit in the run game in the NFL of today to get an instinctive playmaker on the back end. 8 interceptions this year, his sophomore year, and the people that worry about his durability, 24 starts, 24.
With the 133rd pick in the 2010 NFL Draft, Seattle has selected Cam Chancellor, defensive back, Virginia Tech.
That's a pretty solid troika right there, Brian Bell.
And then what's your next opportunity to build on that momentum, Seattle? The draft. This is your opportunity to build on it. And I'm here to say you absolutely whiffed. You know as well as I know this can be very hard to re-sign Matthew Hasselbeck. And you, in my opinion, one humble opinion, absolutely whiffed on today's draft, especially when you know Hasselbeck's going to be hard, almost impossible to re-sign, and you don't get Andy Dalton. I am blown away, and it hurts because I truly, truly love that organization. Some of my finest memories are in Seattle, and this hurts to watch.
They had holes at 4 spots. They needed more than just 2. They got 2 guys that I think can help them. I think there were some reaches, no question, maybe some missed opportunities, no doubt about that. I agree. Trent, I think it was a draft that's not going to help this team stay where they are, which is a playoff variety, and who ended up beating the New Orleans Saints, the defending Super Bowl champion, in that playoff game, and prevented St. Louis in that play-in game from getting in with Sam Bradford.
It's a strong statement by Trent. I understand exactly what he's saying. I think they got some good players, Seattle did, but every single one of these picks, I do believe they could have gotten a better player at each one of those spots.
Yep.
So you basically are agreeing with him, just saying it a little.
Draft. The Seattle Seahawks select Bobby Wagner, linebacker, Utah State.
And that's Pete Carroll's kind of linebacker. Bobby Wagner's been a fast riser. He tested extremely well. He's a big linebacker. Bobby Wagner, to me, is a tremendous athlete. Played both inside and outside for Utah State. When you're talking about the Seattle situation, they re-signed Leroy Hill. They signed Barrett Ruud, but they still have a hole in that linebacker core. He's also a 4-team special teams player. So you get a guy that will be a core special teams player that's explosive in the run game.
You know what I like about him, Mike, when we watched him at the Senior Bowl? Utah State wasn't afraid of anything in the stage there, had a good week of practice, and really stepped up on game day and played well also. I like him better inside than I do outside.
Right.
I think that he can play. He helps that whole linebacking core, and it keeps Bruce Irvin out of having to be a linebacker. He can still be that situation.
The only qualifier on this kid is the height.
Right.
You know, and again, we kind of stereotype in this league. There's not anybody that has had success in this league short of a Doug Flutie. You know, when you're at this size, you know, he's smaller than Drew Brees, but that's the guy. Okay, anybody that's 6 foot or under, they're going to say, well, what about Drew Brees?
I say he's a test case, and I say it for this reason. If you're talking about Russell Wilson in the NFL, he'll get a chance to be a starting quarterback. If he can't get it done for the next 10 years, I don't want to hear about any quarterbacks under 6 feet in that 5'11" range.
Well, you're
this can't make it. Nobody can at that particular height.
You discriminate against guys that aren't 6 feet tall. Guys like me. Russell Wilson is going to go, and he's going to go real quick. And he's going to be one of those guys that defies the eye. Because the difference between Drew Brees, Michael Vick, and Russell Wilson, size-wise, is that much. That's what you're talking about, Mel. You're starting to aggravate me again.
John, what facts, John? 28 of the 32 starting quarterbacks are 6'2" or taller.
I don't care.
Wait a minute. Nobody under 6 feet is starting in the NFL right now.
How many 6'4" are in this draft? There's not a lot of quarterbacks
in the NFL, John. Over the years, a lot of quarterbacks come along.
Here's the one
test case.
From Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Thank you very much. With the 75th pick in the 2012 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Russell Wilson, quarterback, Wisconsin.
I like this pick. I like this kid. I'm jealous of Seattle. I wish I could coach this kid. 74% completion basically this year. Set an NCAA record for passing efficiency.
This is a kid I can't tell you how much I like. Remember, he transferred to Wisconsin because he was already a graduate at North Carolina State. A playmaker from day one. Drafted and played minor league baseball while he played at NC State. John Schneider and Pete Carroll celebrating in the war room. They feel pretty good. They got a quarterback that down the road can not only be a competent backup and kind of a change of pace quarterback, but I believe someday might be a starter quality player.
In the 2015 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Tyler Lockett, wide receiver, Kansas State.
Love this kid. Absolutely love this kid. He can play inside, he can play outside. The only knock on him is size. Double move, see ya, I'm gone. He's one of those guys that's both quick and fast. Catches bubble screens. And by the way, no surprise when you look at him run that he's one of the best punt return men in the country. And look at him as a gunner on the punt team. Covering kicks. How many wide receivers do you see do that? And here he is as the return guy. Sets up blocks. Takes off. He is a perfect guy for Seattle.
249th pick And then in the 2017 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Chris Carson, running back, Oklahoma State.
All right, leave the comedy to the professionals there, Richard.
That's right, buddy.
All right, Chris Carson, Oklahoma State. Is he another Barry Sanders?
No, he's not.
Okay.
Not anything close. But here's an interesting little story. I was reading up on him. So he got clowned in his own running back room by his running back saying, man, you think you're an elusive back, a wiggle back, where you got all this size and all this power, and you try to run like you're, a guy who's going to shake
like
everybody.
Barry Sanders.
Yeah. And you know what he did? He said he took it to heart. He started running with more power, and he started banging around.
Like that?
This is a different guy to me over the second half of the season than what you saw earlier on tape. And I give this guy a chance to be an NFL running back because he's got size, he's got some power, and now
41st pick in the 2018 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select Shaquem Griffin, linebacker, Central Florida.
Great to see Shaquem Griffin go, and no surprise, someone who loves competition, Pete Carroll and John Schneider, the guys who end up taking him.
Oh, I mean, it's great. It's a great situation. He's there with his twin brother. How can you not like that? More importantly, he's there with a creative mind and head coach that will find a way to carve out a role for him. This is a guy that is a high-impact player, a guy that is a run and chase all day.
Seattle Seahawks fifth-round selection in the 2018 NFL Draft, Shaquem Griffin, linebacker from the University of Central Florida.
So this was moments ago, Shaquem Griffin. Oh, this is live right now. Okay, great. This is happening right now inside AT&T Stadium. As we know, Shaquem was in the green room last two nights and did not get his moment on the stage inside AT&T Stadium, as he is now deservedly getting in front of the draft crowd.
The New England Patriots have traded the 64th pick to the Seattle Seahawks. With the 64th pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Seattle Seahawks select DK Metcalf, wide receiver, Ole Miss. Go home.
So a guy that we thought might be the only wide receiver at one point taken in the first round is the last pick of the second round. And again, in case...
Hello?
DK.
Yes, sir.
Hey, it's John Schneider with Seattle Seahawks.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing, bud?
Good.
You doing all right?
Yes.
Hey,
Yes,
man,
sir.
get fired up. We're going to make you a Seahawk right here, okay? You all right, bud? All right, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You got to help me out in the weight room, though. I'm a little slow in that area, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Look forward to this, brother, okay? Here's Coach Carroll.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
DK. Hey, DK, this is Coach Pete Carroll.
How you doing?
I'm doing really good. Okay, we'll both cry together then, all right?
Why y'all wait this long, man?
Seahawks, and you're going to catch footballs from Russell Wilson. So get your ass ready to go, big fella. We are fired up for it, and the staff is excited. Listen to these guys. Here's your staff.